Hello again, everyone. Oh, it feels so good in this room. Like the conversation, the panelists, y'all, the energy feels like, So we'll move into our second meditation, grounding and preparing for the afternoon, the other panelists for this afternoon. And so we'll begin again by wherever you are, standing or sitting, grounding through your feet, grounding through your seat, sitting up nice and tall, just finding an easy and comfortable option for your hands to come to your thighs here, lifting up through the crown of your head. Take a big inhale here. And open mouth, sigh it out. Option to close your eyes or lower your gaze as we settle back into this present moment, sharing with one another. We inhale and exhale. Just begin to notice as you settle into the stillness, just what might be flowing through you after the conversation, the panels, all of the vendors, the energy. And just notice, bringing awareness to anything that is rising up within you. And we'll continue to breathe here, in and out through your nose, finding that calming breath, that breath that stills us, that down regulates our nervous system. And if you're feeling any tension in your face, in your jaw, just allow yourself with your next exhale to soften. Releasing any tension, letting it go. And then just notice if you're holding any tension in your neck, in your shoulders. And I invite you to just begin to slowly move your right ear towards your right shoulder, gently lengthening through your left side neck. Getting a little gentle movement, feeling into your left side. Breathe here, inhale and exhale. And then gently bring your chin slowly down towards your chest, just feeling the length through the back of your neck. Breathing here. And then rock your left ear over to your left shoulder. Taking your time, the other side. I don't know if I said the other side. Maybe I'm confusing directions. Whichever side you didn't do, breathe into that side, lengthening through your neck, feeling if there's any stickiness there. And then gently rock your head back up to center, neutral, and we'll just slowly, gently begin to turn your head over to the right. You might notice another beautiful face, and then to the left. Breathing here, we're feeling into our neck. Bring some movement, some flow. Slowly bring your head back to center. And I'll invite you into another hand yoga mudra. This time it's lotus mudra. So bring your hands together in prayer. There's just opportunity this morning or this afternoon. We've been talking a lot about just all of the ways in which we manifest who we are and who we be just by being and just bringing it in. And there's something so powerful about mudras. They say in yoga that the mudra, we bring the mudra to bring forth something, but it's something that's already within us. And so this mudra, the lotus mudra, we open your fingers by bending your fingers slightly so your pinky and your thumb still connect. And this is like the lotus flower. And we hold it here in front of our hearts. The lotus flower grows up out of the mud and is unperturbed by the muck. And it lifts up towards the light and grows. So option here to simply breathe into your lotus flower Padma mudra. Breathing into your essence, holding it in front of your heart, knowing that you have all you need to be who you desire to be. in your softness, your strength, your opulence, your femininity, and the peace. We breathe into that. Big inhale here. And sigh it out, releasing. We'll hold here for 3 more rounds of breath. Option to close your eyes or lower your gaze, just sensing inward to anything that arises without judging yourself or anything, simply noticing, seeing yourself in your seeing. And then gently, gently bring your hands back to prayer. And I invite you back into Vajrapradama, the seal of unshakable trust, the mudra that we place over our hearts. And this time, y'all, we gonna hum. So instead of oming, we'll hum. And the hum, again, is the vibration of our voice that awakens and connects with our heart, connects us all with one another. Sound is vibration. And so we'll connect with all beings, with one another in the room. So we'll simply inhale big here and hum. We'll do that 2 more times, just breathing in and sensing into your own sound. Inhale here and hum. 1 more big inhale, filling up and hum. And with that resonance, that reverberation through your hands and your heart, we'll bring our hands back to prayer. Just honoring one another, all that has been shared, all that will be shared. We'll just honor one another. Thank y'all. Thank you so much. Yes, Carmen. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Mia. I appreciate you so much. And again, she is with Matthew's Yoga Collective. So if you guys are ever interested in doing any type of yoga sessions, any type of anything, please give them a try. They're amazing and they're great and they always are showing up in the best ways possible. So, of course.
I'm sorry I can't stay. I have to teach a class.
It's okay. She has another class. It is okay. I promise. We're going to have a blast and I'll tell you about it. I'll tell you all about it. I'll call you. Alrighty. So let us go ahead and move on to the next panel. And the next panel is on femininity. So let me get all of my stuff together myself. So session 3 is femininity, and it is reclaiming the feminine. That's really huge and one of the main reasons why we're here, really. Not one of the main reasons, but you know what I mean. Today our speakers are Sydney Beeson. Come on up here, Sydney girl. And Jazz Turner. You're good. Oh, let me move my cup. And then that one you can okay. Perfect. All right. Let's get into this. You guys ready? Yes. Perfect. All righty. So, what lie about womanhood did you carry into adulthood? And how did you dismantle it?
That you have to struggle in silence. A lot of Black women, watching your grandma, your mom, your auntie, just struggle with managing everything. They took care of the house, they took care of the business, they took care of the whole family, and struggling in silence was something that I saw, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna do that, and ended up replicating the exact. So that me dismantling that was kind of putting myself first and figuring out what does that look like. Backstory, I had endometriosis. Well, I have endometriosis, stage 4. Ended up having to get a hysterectomy, and I felt like my womanhood was kind of taken. So I'm like, okay, I'm not defined by those parts. So how do I define my femininity? And so that's when I started the journey of, learning how softness and what that looks like, journaling, just pouring into myself and telling myself that I get to set boundaries. I get to say no. I don't feel like it. I don't want to do that. And giving myself grace, because I have to give grace to the Black women that raised me. They didn't have a footstone of who showed them how to do it. We've been repeating these cycles. So I think we're now just trying to figure out how to dismantle that together.
I think one that stands out the biggest for me is that you can't quit. I think I was just always raised, you don't quit, you don't stop, even if everything in your life is falling apart, you don't stop. And I think in some aspects, I think that's very true, but it can be very toxic because we can keep on going with things that are just not meant for us. And I remember I was in law school, and I was really good at law school, but I hated it. I hated it so much. And it was, like I said, it came out physically, it came emotionally. I'm a very bubbly and happy person, but I was very short. I stopped hanging out with my friends, deleted social media. It was just a very dark time for me. And I remember I got into therapy because I didn't understand what was wrong. I was in law school on a full ride. I'd just gotten a great internship at the #1 sports agency. I had a car, I had a boyfriend, I had an apartment, I had all of the things that were supposed to make me happy, but I was the saddest I'd ever been in my entire life. And I got into therapy, and I remember our first session, she was like, well, what if you just stopped? I was like, what are you talking about? What do you, it never occurred to me. We keep going. And I remember through my journey, I finally told my mom, and I was like, I want to leave law school and I can't do this anymore. And she was like, I've been waiting for you to say that because I saw it suck the life out of you. And I never even thought about stopping. I never even thought about pivoting. I never even thought about any of it. You just stick it out regardless of the cost. And I think that's very detrimental to a lot of Black women.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you guys for being so vulnerable and open. I appreciate that so much. Okay, next question is, how do you express feminine leadership differently in your career versus relationships?
I would say, I think a lot of Black women feel like this. We are put in this box of being aggressive when we speak our mind. Or if we're speaking our mind or putting those boundaries, we're put in this box of, oh, here she go again, Right. They don't get to do that. They don't get to put those placements on us. And, you can be very grounded in boundaries in the workplace, but also still show softness. And it's just not going to look like softness to them. And I had to realize that. They don't get to define what we look like in the workplace. So you think that I'm being hard. No, baby, I'm putting boundaries on places that need it. And in my relationship, I get to be softer because there's softness in a space for me to be vulnerable. I don't have to drive this. This is a partnership dance. And that's what a healthy relationship looks like, so.
I think it's two things for me. I think in terms of career and, making content, I don't label myself as a feminine content creator, but I get that label placed on me a lot, and I think it's because I embody it. I think I just do little things like my gratitude journal, how I like to pour into myself, my self-care nights, how I speak to myself is all very feminine. It's all, I like to nurture myself. I like to love myself. And I think I carry that into my personal life and relationships. One of my boundaries for people is I will not date you. I will not have you in my life if you do not love yourself. Like, that is just such a big boundary for me because I've been in relationships with people that didn't love themselves, and I tried to love them into loving themselves.
Yes.
And you like literally can't do that.
You
Like,
can't.
You can't do that. And it ends up sucking the life out of you. And it becomes even more detrimental when you're around people that don't love themselves, because they'll say little things at you, or you know, they'll say little things about themselves, very negative. So I think in femininity, and I all of my female friends love themselves. They love themselves. They don't talk down on themselves. They build themselves up. They build me up. And I think that's a part of the feminine friendship I think I hold really dear.
Yeah. I love that. Yes. Yes. Y'all got me all in my feelings. I'm about to cry. This is crazy. Okay. Next question, ladies. When has honoring your intuition saved you from burnout, heartbreak, or misalignment?
How long we got? So I just moved to Charlotte. I'm new here. I'll be coming up on a year in September. Tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. Well, congratulations. Welcome to your home.
Thank you. Yes. I was in the medical field and I worked through COVID. I swore I was going to be a doctor, nurse practitioner. And I completely I was with a patient and I just started crying and I couldn't stop crying. It just kept going. My boss was like, just go home. I was in bed for 3 days. And I had to reflect back on it. I know that I'm meant to help people. It just wasn't in that setting. You know, I know a lot of people don't get treated right in the hospitals, but watching how they treated Black people and Black women, it took a toll on me that I didn't even realize. So I had to put myself first, and I left the medical field, and I came out here to pursue my dreams. You have to learn how to listen to yourself, listen to your body. We don't do that enough as Black women because we weren't taught that. And I'm telling you guys, it's okay. Follow your dreams. Do not put yourself in a box that society wants you to be in, because they don't know you. They don't know what you've been through. They don't know your story. They don't know any of it. So I chose to put myself first because I was gonna kill myself if I didn't. So being soft was putting myself first and choosing to get therapy, choosing to listen to what I need to put in my body, because that also matters. What I put on my body, because when you look good, you feel good.
Period.
Y'all know that, right? Y'all all look good
Every day, all the time. Period. Tell her again, see.
So yes, I do feel like you have to listen to that discernment, that intuition of, because it's gonna reroute you, like the lady said earlier. You know, God has a plan for you. You gonna sell him your plan, and he gonna laugh in your face
Every time.
every time.
And again,
Like,
right, Jazz.
you thought this not even what I have for you. So learning to be like, okay, I'm listening to my discernment, I'm listening to my intuition, and this is what's for me. Can I just also say I'm glad to be here, y'all?
Oh, I love that.
Oh my gosh.
I think burnout, the essence of like burnout is a very funny thing, because I remember you saying you don't plan burnout. Like, it just creeps up on you, and it's just like, how did I even get here? You know, all of a sudden you're crying for 3 days, and like all of a sudden you don't want to talk to anybody. All of a sudden like you're off the map. You don't plan for it. And I think there's a lot of content out there, like my 5 a.m. productive routine and my nightly routine. I mean, even I create content like that. And that's not how it is every single day. But there are things that I do that are very, again, I mentioned this before, I'm about momentum. I'm not about perfection. If I can just get myself going, then I will keep going. So, you know, journaling, doing my gratitude journal in the morning, drinking a glass of water in the morning, taking my vitamins, taking an afternoon walk, taking that Pilates class, like it's little things, but that is how I prevent burnout. Because if I don't do those things, I will burn out. I've been there before. I think sometimes you can't avoid it. Sometimes that's just life. You just burn out. I burn out with content, I feel like, every other week. But I've also done the self-work, and that's why I think the isolation period is so important, that when I hit burnout, it's almost like I know myself now. I know how to get myself back to baseline.
Yeah.
Do enough healing that when you do hit burnout, you know the regimen to get yourself back. Whether it's booking a staycation, whether it's having a nightly routine, whether it's going on Pinterest and getting re-inspired. It's not fine if you hit burnout, but if you do hit burnout, don't just hit it and stay in it. Have a plan to come back.
Yes, ma'am. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. She's speaking. Y'all are both speaking. Hello. I'm surprised I haven't. Y'all crying yet? All right. Okay. Next question is, what does it look like to honor your body and desires instead of hiding or fixing them?
When you hit burnout,
Yeah. That last question.
you have to listen to your body. I remember when I was first in the stage of discovering I had endometriosis, the doctors was like, "You're just having a bad period."
Of course.
Okay, well, what you gonna do about it? And they weren't doing anything. I had been to 4 doctors and it wasn't getting anywhere. So I'm like, I gotta do something. So that's when I introduced myself to yoga. And then doing yoga introduced me into juicing. Juicing introduced me into like working out, Pilates, and I found peace. I'm like, okay, the pains aren't that bad. Like, I get to decide how I help myself. And so you have to listen to your body, as well as knowing what is good for you, because what's good for the next person isn't always going to be good for you. I definitely stay firm in my rituals. I do Reset Sundays. I'm out of the house right now, but this to be with you beautiful ladies. But Reset Sundays is something that my mom had as a tradition. You heard that music on, it's time to get up and clean up, start your week, reset yourself, mind, body, and soul. And that's where I have
I have a very kind of similar, not similar, but similar. So I have been going up and down with my birth control for like a year now. I hate my birth control. I have an IUD, and I think it's like ruining my life. And
Me
if
too.
you follow me on social media, I will not stop talking about how this thing is ruining my life. But I say that to say is I've been feeling like this for a minute, and I think our feminine health is directly tied to our feminine energy, which is directly tied to our productivity, which is directly tied to how we present ourselves in the world. So it's very important. And I was sitting, this was like 2 weeks ago, sitting at my desk, I was editing a YouTube video, and the worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life. Like, it hurt so bad, and it was like the worst cramp ever. And I downplayed it, to be honest. Like, we talk about like doctors, downplaying our pain. I think sometimes we downplay our own pain. So I was like, oh, it's a cramp. But it felt like a very intense cramp. So I went and laid down. I was like in the fetal position for like 3 hours, and I don't have cramps. That's not one of my symptoms, but I'm like, okay, maybe whatever. Long story short, it comes out that I had a cyst on my uterus burst, and it was this whole thing. And to bring that back around, I went on a women's wellness retreat. I just came back from one, and I don't really know the science behind it, but I had Reiki healing. I ain't never heard what that was before.
Look.
I don't really understand, but right there, look, you guys. I had Reiki healing done. I still don't understand chakras. I don't get into it very much, but it was offered. She did the Reiki, she went on all of my chakras, and then your stomach is your manifestation. Like, women, we literally bring in life into this world. That is our manifestation. It's also our creativity for a lot of women. We create something, right? And she's going down, and I didn't tell her any of this, and she stops in my stomach. And she was like, is something going on here? And I was like, how the hell did she know? Like, but she's a Reiki master, I don't know. And I told her, and I was like, yeah, I had a cyst burst like the other day, and I've been kind of going through this thing with my IUD. And she told me, she was like, when we are, as women, if we're not creating something, our body will create something for itself. Whether it is a cyst, whether it is a hormonal problem, it's not, directly tied. You're not going to start, you can break out because of stress and stuff like that. Yeah. But a lot of our stuff, if we don't take care of ourselves, will manifest itself. We will create ourselves. So that really kind of like hit me and touched me and made me feel like, oh, this feminine energy and femininity, it's more than, just wearing pink and doing all. It's life-saving, to be honest. It is definitely something that to level up, to glow up, to become your best self. If you are not focusing on some aspect of your feminine power and feminine energy, you will burn out. You will not level up. You will not become the woman that you're meant to be if you don't honor your body and yourself.
That's good. That's good. Oh gosh. Look at that. Jazz done pulled up again. Okay, so are we ready for our teaching moment? Okay. So how can women model powerful femininity to the next generation without repeating the cycles that we inherited?
We have to teach them by letting them know that they can thrive. I don't think that we do that enough. I remember seeing my mom work 13 jobs, 5 kids, cooking, and I'm like, she's just always on the go, go, go. But like, she was really struggling. Yeah. Because that's what I thought thriving was. You had to be on the go, go, go. As a Black woman, you have to be able to juggle everything. Yeah. And be okay with it. And I'm learning that that's not true. So let the younger people see you thrive, setting boundaries, putting yourself first. And it's not just about the nails, the hair done, actually doing the work. Have you sat down with the kids and let them know, like, hey, are you talking about your feelings? Are you validating yourself? Because we don't talk about vulnerability in the Black community a lot, especially with Black men and Black women. Being able to say, like, I'm not okay, out loud, and being okay that that people know that you're not okay. Yeah. Because we're always trying to put on that face, You have to let you be yourself and thrive in that.
Honestly, I'm echoing basically like what you said. I'm a big proponent of not going through stuff just to go through it. I think if you're gonna go through it, you gotta make something out of it. Right. A business, talk to somebody. I don't know. Like, don't just go through something. I say to impact the next generation. For me personally, the whole reason I wanted to become a lawyer is I didn't know any Black women lawyers growing up. The moment I stepped onto Spelman's campus and I saw, like, there was a lawyer panel and they walked on campus in their red bottoms and I'm like, I want to be that. Yeah. But it's because I saw it. And I think there's power in actually seeing Black women thrive. And I would urge you, in whatever capacity, whether it's a blog, whether it's a vlog, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's just sending out letters, whether it's joining, women empowerment groups, share your story. Like, part of being feminine is vulnerability at the end of the day. Do you need to share every single last detail? No. But I think there's power in your story, and you didn't go through anything just to go through it. And there's women out there that can connect to it. And that's honestly how we build up the next generation, is by sharing our own stories and being vulnerable.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good. Yes, those were great takeaways, you guys. I see a couple of tears. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna do the last little section, and this will be our QA part. Okay, so do you guys have any questions for our ladies up here in the front? Don't be shy now.
I don't have any questions.
Yes.
But we talk about vulnerability a lot.
Yeah.
And I have a saying, and it ties into femininity as well, that vulnerability is your superpower. Okay? It is your complete superpower. And they have, for us as melanated women, we have been taught you shove that down. You're not vulnerable. You're not even a person. Okay? And for us, as far as pouring back into the next generation, pouring back into that next generation is teaching them 100%.
Yeah.
You are a powerhouse if you are vulnerable.
Amen.
Amen.
You are a powerhouse if you are vulnerable. I have a 10-year-old daughter. I grew up, I was hard and black on the outside. And it took me a minute, but I've gotten there to where now, I'm soft and pink on the inside.
Yeah.
And I teach that to her.
Yeah.
And she is a powerhouse, but she understands being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And it's okay. And I have no problem with asking her when she comes to me and I say, Mommy ain't got it today.
Yeah.
I don't have it today. And being okay with saying that, just like how you said, being okay with saying, man, look, I ain't got it. And what society says, what you're supposed to be as a mother, as a wife, as what society says. No, my house ain't clean every day.
Girl.
It's shit everywhere.
Girl.
Sometimes. But guess what? You got a partner, that partner will show up. That partner will show up. But it's getting rid of teaching the next generation to not look at don't society is telling you a falsehood. That's false.
Yeah.
That's not what that is. And your journey is your journey. So yours is gonna be different. Yeah, like I said, your house is not gonna be good. I'm not gonna cook every night. We're gonna have to order out. Okay? We're gonna have and it's okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't make you a bad mother, doesn't make you a bad wife, doesn't make you a bad employee, business owner, or whatever. Hey, I just don't have it today. And that's okay.
And that's okay.
That's okay.
Yes.
And what is your name?
My name is Sasha Monet.
Oh, Sasha. Oh, Sasha. Inner Diva, baby. Yes. Okay. We're going to have to check out Inner Diva. But thank you for saying that. I think it's so important to talk about the vulnerability, the emotional intelligence, the emotional maturity that we have to ensure that the next generation has. Because they see us on social media and they're like, oh, they've got it made. I want to be just like them. We were just talking about that. But like having the ability to be open with people and vulnerable with people and open up is something that I think a lot of us don't do. So thank you for bringing that up and talking about it and actually making it saying, hey, I have a 10-year-old, this is what I do. Because somebody in here wants to hear that. So thank you.
I just want to add something.
Hold on.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We're going to come right back to you, okay? No, you're good.
I just want to piggyback on what she was saying. Not only just to be vulnerable for yourself, but also be vulnerable for your mate as well, too. Just as much as we are embodying all of this and trying to deal with the problems of what society has us to believe, our mates are doing the same thing. And we create these social spaces to talk about it, but our mates don't have that. And so to be able to be vulnerable for your mate in order for them to be vulnerable to you, it creates a better and healthier relationship.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, girl.
Hey,
Hey, girl, hey.
So I have a 24-year-old that just graduated from UNC Charlotte, bio major, and then I have a 14-year-old about to be 15. She's going into high school. I teach them to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
But what I realized with a lot of my clients is that they go into relationships oversharing. In friendships.
Yeah.
One of our ways we try to connect with other women is,
It's
girl,
talking
I
too
want
much.
This. That trauma bond.
Yeah.
A lot of times the way we connect with other men or men, right? Excuse me, I misspoke. Men, we tell them, you know what, my ex was this. This. So we are, it's not that we're not vulnerable because we're in a room full of very vulnerable women. It's about discernment.
Yes.
We have to understand that, you know, we have this power of discernment in us where we can be in environments like this and open up and share, but there's certain environments that we're not supposed to share and open up.
No.
So as we embody vulnerability, let's also consider that we need discernment.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I have something
Yes.
A couple of weeks ago, I was in New Jersey. Quick story. And one of my friends asked me a very deep question. Never had a question asked me before. And I had to get me thinking. He asked me, growing up as a black woman, well, black girl, with a very strong, dominant, militant mom, what would you teach your daughter, or what would you do different? And I didn't understand the question until he elaborated on it. And when I realized, I had to think back at how I was growing up. My mom didn't hear me out at all. It was either her way or her.
Yep.
So now that I have a 3-year-old little girl, I'm trying to be more vocal with her, to talk to her, and try to get everything, I guess, level to where she understands, because she is at an age where she's learning a lot of stuff. So I pretty much told him one thing I would do different is to hear her out, because I was never heard. And him not being heard caused a lot of effects in the future.
Yeah.
I'm talking about public speaking.
Girl.
Don't want to be pointed out. Scared to make friends. And the fact that I've grown out of it, I'm a little bit more vocal now. A little perky.
She real perky, y'all. Don't let her play with y'all.
I've grown out of it, but that is considered, I would say, stopping a generational issue, because her mom disregarded her. Yeah. So I don't even know what my great-great-grandmother did, but it was passed down through generations. So I think that was one little thing, and I'm so happy you brought that up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing, Jazz. All these Jasmines in the room. I mean, who else is a Jazz? Who else is a Jazz? How many Jazzes are in the room? I just want a quick hand raise. See, it's like 10 Jasmines in the room. I'm serious. Well, hello, Jasmines. All right, y'all are in the building. All right, perfect. Next question.
Another thing is like honoring our masculine energy that's gotten us so far. Because women, we have both masculine and feminine energy within ourselves. It's just a majority feminine. And we've already been trained in our masculine, so when we find feminine energy, it's like, oh my gosh, it's new. So it's like, living life with one arm tied behind your back, and now you have feminine energy, so you bring it together. So not abandoning the masculine, but using it to set structure so your feminine can flow. Like going to work and being in your masculine is supporting your feminine by earning money and allowing her to do the self-care.
Yeah.
Setting and scheduling time in your day to flow and be soft is a masculine container to let your feminine flow. So like honoring it for getting you thus far, and then using it intentionally to support your feminine.
Yes, ma'am. I love that.
Yeah, y'all speaking.
I wanted to add that it's also critical to know when the difference between assertiveness and aggressiveness, like identifying that, because those are two totally different traits. So just something for you to think about. One of the most dominant and revered animals in the animal kingdom is a lion. But you rarely see a lion attack a prey. Just their stature, just their being, just them being who they are. There's a level of reverence that comes with that. So I think oftentimes as women, as we navigate through life, the guards and the coping mechanisms that we build based off the trauma that we encounter and occur, we show up in an aggressive fashion, kind of like a wolf. A wolf is ready to pounce on you at any time, at any moment, rather than just stepping into who we are and being and knowing that that is enough. Our assertiveness is enough. We don't have to show up as being aggressive, but the aggressiveness is a reaction to what we have encountered. So knowing that assertiveness is feminine in itself. Being assertive is something that you don't have to do. That's not an act, it's just a being. So when I step in a room and I ruffle feathers, that has nothing to do with me. That's just me being an assertive being. That's me being, right? Just like an animal, just like a lion, when he or she steps on the scene, we cannot control how we fear them. That don't have nothing to do with them. That's all us. So just knowing the difference between being assertive and being aggressive and the why behind how you're showing up. You have to be intentional and knowing how to navigate those feelings.
She's on y'all's next panel too, so I already know Sierra's about to go in. Yes, Mama.
I have a question for the panel.
Yes.
knowing what you know now, and the last question was, what advice would you give future generations? What would you go back and say to your past generation on the path that you took and the growth that you achieved?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Let me think on that.
When you say past generation, do you mean like little me, or do you mean like my mom?
Yeah,
little
your
me?
mom.
Oh my God. Don't make me cry.
Girl, cry.
It's so hard because so I come from a single parent household. On one hand, I understand why you had to be so strong. Like, what were you supposed to just do your nails and I was supposed to sit at home? Like, you know what I mean? Like, of course you had to be strong. And she's opened up to me about how it's so interesting because my grandmother, all she did was dote on me and love me and hug me. She didn't do that with my mom. I don't know what happens with grandmothers and kids, and it's a skip.
It's a skip.
But I remember we were kind of talking about this at the table. I don't know when, but something clicked in my mind, like maybe 3 years ago. It's my mom's first time living too. She's just figuring it out as well. And I remember one time she just threw in a sentence. That's what parents will do. They'll just like drop like lore on you, or drop like trauma, and like, girl, what?
Yeah, leave me alone, girl.
She's like, yeah, my mom never hugged me. I was like,
I'm sorry.
I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense because my mom is overly loving towards me, but I think it's compensating, right? And I love that so much. So if I had to like go back to little her, I'd definitely give her a hug. I would give her a hug. I would tell her she was very loved. I think what that generation needed is I don't think they had as many safe spaces like this. I think they had community, but I don't think anything was talked about. Like, I would urge her to talk more. Like, the fact that you just dropped that on me when I was like 20 something, like, you probably haven't really said that. You know what I mean? And to you, that's just kind of over your head. But I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, no, let's unpack that. What do you mean? So I would encourage her to talk more, her friends to talk more, and everything like that. But I would hug her.
Yes.
That's a good question I'm still pondering on. But
she said, tell me, girl.
With you being my mom,
right.
I would definitely go back and give you grace. Growing up, you just see it one-sided, and you're like, here she go. Yelling. What now? But growing up as a Black woman, I get it. And it's okay. So I would definitely give you a hug. I would give my grandmother a hug because we didn't create safe spaces for us to have conversations. We had community back then, but there was no safe space. And now it's like we can create tribes and communities, have these conversations, because a lot of the time we try to avoid the harder conversations when we should be actually talking about it. Like, why didn't grandma hug you? Why did she act like that? Did she have something happen? I recently read a book, Trauma Didn't Start With You. And it was talking about how, you know, we pass down these traumas in our family, but no one ever talks about them. So we really got to start talking. So like, I'm not my mom's therapist, but we have conversations, and we have those hard conversations because I want to know, like, why are you having this hard shell? What can I do to make this life, your new life, amazing, just like mine? Because just like she said, you're living too. This is new for you. All the kids out the house.
Girl.
You get to mold what that looks like, and I'm here to support that, whatever that may be.
Aw, we need a hug. We need a mama-daughter hug. I know. And this one, everybody needs a hug. Yes. Yes, there we go.
Somebody film this. That's so good.
Ooh, there go the earring. Y'all got it? Okay. Yes, ma'am.
And I would just like to say, and I just enjoy how this generation, more than ever, is like working on themselves and healing, because the enemy gets us through generational curses. Like, he wants us to be stuck in these cycles and everything. So when we, like, you know, like, look, I'm not doing this with my kids, and it's important because we're not just healing for ourselves, we're healing for further generations for our kids and our children, so we can do things different. So I feel like it's definitely important, like now that we have these spaces where we can just be again vulnerable and be open and like share our experiences.
Yes. All right. I think we'll take one more question and then we'll wrap this session up. Hey, Michaela.
I think in my journey in finding my own softness, one thing that really bothered me was the relationship between me and my mother. Because I don't think my mother ever realized how much I value her. I think she got so caught up in everything that was happening in her life at the time, because like going back, like I'm an adult now, so I can look back and go, oh shit, my mother wasn't just going to work and raising me. She was juggling the end of her marriage. She was juggling difficult relationships with her parents, with her family, with work, with friends. She was juggling so much, and I couldn't see that at the time. And so going back, and even now, like I've had to go actively give my mom grace. And say, hey lady, like I'll literally call her and be like, hey lady, how you doing? And she's like, I'm good. And I'm like, no, are you really okay? Because you sound different. And she's like, what do you know? And I'm like, I know you. Like, please don't think you're, and I've had to tell her, please don't think you're the only one who knew us. Like, you weren't the only one who memorized me. I memorized you. And so raising my daughter, I had to realize she sees me the same way. One thing that pissed me off with my mom, and I had to tell her, I was like, can you stop lying to me about how you feel? Because I feel it. You feel me, I feel you. So when stuff moves and when it shifts, I feel it. And you being dishonest about that hurts me. And I had to realize I can't do that to my daughter too. So she'll come to me and she's like, Mommy, are you okay? Like, I think she was like 5 and we were in the car and I was just having a rough day. And she was like, Mommy, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm good. Why? And she was like, well, you're not singing along and this is your favorite song. And I hadn't thought about the fact that she notices those very small things. And in giving my mom grace, I was able to give myself grace and not try to be the perfect daughter, just be her daughter, the daughter she needs. So my mom's not a super affectionate person. I don't care, lady, you're getting a hug. You're getting a hug. I will come sit on you. I embarrass my mother every Mother's Day on purpose.
I love it.
Period.
On purpose, in the house. No one else gets to see it, but she is embarrassed in the house by my shenanigans. She loves it. And she'll never stop it. She'll just be like, okay. All right, cool. But she's softened. In me being softer with her, she's softened. And the thing with mom to grandma is they're busy raising us. Mom can't be soft with you in that moment, but that's why we have grandma. To be that soft person. My mom is so soft with my daughter and I love to see it. Because I loved having that with my grandma. And my daughter gets to have it. So it's fine that you had to be harder with me. That's fine. You now provide the balance in my life. Just like you always did, but it's in a different way now. And so I think that when we do talk about breaking generational curses, it's not just going forward. We can break them with our parents. We can change how they relate to the world and to us.
Yes.
I do want to add this too. Sometimes we don't have to give grace. I think sometimes that's toxic to say we have to forgive people
I'm not mad at that.
and we have to give grace. Some mothers are not good mothers. Let's be real.
She didn't lie.
We all start to get programmed in the womb at 9 months. So how they treat us is an inner child wound. It separates us from ourselves. We have coping mechanisms, psychological conditionings, and different things like that. And if you're at a point in this room and you're like, no, my mom was not good to me, it's okay. I think fear-based belief systems, religious belief systems, teaches us that just because we have a mother and a father, we need to honor them. But what if they're toxic towards us? What if they hurt us? It's okay to cut them off. It's
Yeah.
okay to say I have boundaries, I have discernment, I know what I have healed in my life, and if my mother or my father cannot show up as a mother and a father, I'm okay with not being in their lives. And not allow society to teach us that we have to keep toxic family members in our life just because they're family. That's the part of the real soft life. Cut off every person that does not love you.
Period. No negative energy.
No negativity.
Yeah.
Period.
But I think
Period.
that is a form of giving grace.
Right,
Yeah.
like I
You know what I
can
mean?
give you grace and
right.
still exit.
You
I
can,
can say I
right. You
understand
can
you
forgive
and
the
why you
situation.
did it,
You can give
but I
grace to
can't.
the situation, and you don't have to deal with it anymore. I feel like that when we say give grace, for me personally, because I have one of those moms, right? And it's always, she's my mother. I love her because she's my mother, but I don't have a relationship with her. And it's okay. But for a long time, I felt bad about that. I felt obligated to go, you know, whatever they needed, you know.
Girl.
Good, bad, or the other. She wasn't very good to my children at all. And what I had to realize is when my kids started holding me accountable, like, you let grandma do this, you let grandma do that. So I had to like figure it out for myself. Like, I love my mom. I wish her the best. I forgive her for everything because honestly, she doesn't know how. She doesn't know how. Nobody taught her, just like nobody taught me. I had to learn hard way. I had to want to learn that. You know what I mean? So that's what I think by when we say give grace. It's not to be walked over. Don't let nobody step over y'all. Now listen. Honey,
Period.
What I tell Sydney the other day, she, last few months we've been working on, don't take no wood nickels. And then when she saw Sydney, she was like, I know that was a real thing. Yes, it's a real thing. So yeah, but giving grace is a little bit of forgiveness.
Yeah.
For yourself.
For yourself.
Alrighty.
I would like to.
Yeah, I was just gonna add.
Okay. We're gonna
We're
do you. Okay.
I was just
You're
gonna
it.
add with Ivory, slightly agree with her mom, but I do believe that we all should give everybody grace. It doesn't matter how they treated you. That's what God wants for us. God loves us, so how do you expect to not give grace to somebody like your mother, like your sister, like a friend, but you expect God to give you grace in situations where you fall short? How can we not? Forgiveness, we are supposed to forgive. Why would you harbor on that unforgiveness for so long, and then that's when it starts to fester in your body and it starts to show up in your life? That's where your shortcomings come from. It's unforgiveness. So if you did have that mom, I didn't have the best relationship with my mother either.
Yeah.
But I love her, just like she said, she loved her mom. But I forgive my mom for anything that she has ever done.
Yeah.
But I know she's taking care of me, and I give her grace because I know that's the same grace that I want if I fall short with my own child or just anybody else, a friend, like I said, or anybody. So that's truly what God wants for us. Unforgiveness is not okay.
Yeah.
Unforgiveness is absolutely not okay.
I think the big component that we're missing is that forgiveness is for you,
Yes.
not for the other person.
Yes.
So you forgive to release yourself from the weight of the situation.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to misspeak for her, but I think when she says you don't have to forgive, I think what I think I understand from what she is saying is that you don't have to continue the dynamics of the relationship that caused the harm. You release yourself from the weight of the harm by forgiving, and you change those dynamics. So if that means I forgive you to release me and move on, it can also mean, but I don't mess with you no more. You don't have access
I'm good.
to me, and that you can have that type of dynamic with a parent.
Yeah.
Some people from a distance.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Love people from a distance.
And not to have them in your circle.
Right.
Love.
Love. All right, ladies. Well, we only have a few more minutes with Jazz, so I just want to make sure that you guys can, like, you know, we've literally got a couple of minutes. So make sure, like, if you can say hi, say hi. She's got to go, but let's give them all a round of applause. This was a great discussion.
I feel like you need a few of these people back on the panel next year.
I know. We're going to bring some of these people back on the panel next year. Golly. Alrighty. Well, we're gonna do some giveaways right now. We're gonna let Jazz go. So
Back to New York.
back to New York.
I'll tell y'all, being back like down here,
Yeah.
I miss it. I miss
Yeah.
it so much.
Yeah.
I love Atlanta.
Yeah.
I wish I could like move back to Atlanta today.
Today.
But back to New York.
Back to New York, girl.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you for coming.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
It was so great. And we're so excited. And we're gonna get Jazz next year too. So just saying. But okay, I'm gonna do some giveaways.